The ultimate tournament of everything.
Welcome to the Ultimate Tournament of Everything, a bracket-style show where we compare the best of Wikipedia against the best of Wikipedia, but this time we're going to do it different.
No frontin', we are back. It's been a minute, but we're here to do it brand new and funky too.
Well, that's right, at least I hope so. If you are a longtime listener of the show, one, where have you been? And two, I bet you're asking, where have we been? And that is a great question. We cannot say. We both signed NDAs. Anyway, we are back. And we decided what a better time to mess with the format than coming back from a long break.
Humanity has always been trying to reduce infinities to something tangible, and that's no different than what we do here on this show. So the manner in which we decided to do it is to reduce it from 9 rounds to 5 rounds, but we're still going to have some juicy action laid on top.
That's right. Instead of doing 9 rounds where we pick 9 of the best things, we're going to do 5 rounds where we pick 5 of the best things and then compare those 5 things to each other, giving one of them a bye into the inevitable round 2 of what would be round 1, of which there might be 7 or 8 or 9 rounds. I don't know. We're going to find out together because math is hard.
Round and round we go, all the way to the top, to the winner. Who will it be? I don't know. Let's get into round 1 to find out.
Round one.
In round 1, we have a guide horse against tension filter.
A guide horse is an alternative mobility option for blind people who do not wish to or cannot use a guide dog. This is a horse that will lead you around. You can lead a horse to water, and this one can lead you there too. Going up against Tension Filter, the debut studio album by Hallow Black. They ain't no Hallow Black girls. Released in 1994 by Fifth Column Records.
Now, I know we said we're going to pick 10 random things, and one of them is going to get a bye into a next round, and I got to say, the guide horse might be the dark horse, just of this whole thing right away. It is automatically the favorite. Think of a guide dog, but instead it's a tiny miniature horse that will walk you around wherever you need to go. And this idea, I guess, dates back to 1943, if not earlier, and a film, The Blocked Trail, of that year having a dwarf guide horse guide a blind miner. I have so many more questions. Mike, tell me more about this guide horse.
I would love to by giving you a visual picture here. And I'm going to do so by referencing I'm going to give you an audio picture by referencing the visual picture that I see of a man standing there holding the reins of what can only be described as it looks like a toy horse. It's tiny, it's very round, and it has a sweet little vest that says guide horse on it. Now, it's almost silly looking at it. If I saw this, and who has to walk behind it with a tiny little scoop?
I don't know. Hopefully not the blind person, because how would they see it? Maybe the horse has to pick it up himself. Maybe it has a little horse diaper. I don't know. But there's a lady named Janet who had horses, and she had a little pet miniature horse named Twinkie on her farm, and this animal was like a dog to them. So she decided, you know what? Let's bring miniature horses into the world of seeing eye animals. And so the first one, of course, Twinkie. And from that start, this Janet Burleson developed a rigorous training program for miniature horses that was similar to guide dogs, adding systemic desensitization training, similar to that given to horses used for riot control. There were setbacks, of course. First time she took the mini horse to the grocery store, it grabbed a Snickers bar off the shelf. Oh, what a horse.
The goal was to train these small horses to meet all the requirements to become a guide animal for the blind. One of the first people to use a guide horse was Dan Shaw. At age 17, he was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, an incurable eye disease that deteriorates vision over time. In 1998, he attended a school for the blind to learn basic skills such as how to read Braille. However, he stated he was shocked at how many few options he had. He didn't want to struggle with a white cane. He couldn't bear the idea of having a guide dog because of grief he had experienced when his beloved pet dog had died years ago. He knew he'd feel the loss of the animal that he relied on for his independence even more. In 1999, the Burlesons created the Guide Horse Foundation to provide miniature horses as assistance animals to blind users living in rural environments, and Dan was one of the first to get one.
Yeah, and he really liked this idea because mini horses live 30 to 40 years, so he could really develop a great relationship with his animal and not have to worry about it having the life of a dog. I guess, that earlier trauma we talked about. And so, yeah, guide horses, it's a thing. But you know what else is a thing? Tension Filter, that debut studio album. Now, apparently this album was okay. According to John Bush of AllMusic, the group breathed life into a somewhat tired industrial rock, even though the requisite metal guitars, distortion, and drum programming are nothing new. So it's great, but it's not new.
A magazine recommended the album to fans of Nine Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine, their album, and described it as a great mix of synth and guitar work. It's chock full of electronic sound, perfect for the industrial electronic scene. Sonic Boom agreed with the comparison for the, quote, sheer depth, power, and stark originality of the compositions.
Yeah, if you know the album, you know the album, and I don't, but that's okay. There were 11 tracks on the album, and everyone's favorite track, Untitled. I don't know about you, Mike, but I have a lot of untitled tracks.
A lot of people have done that song. It's one of my favorites. It seems that everyone puts their own version on it, their own spin. I really love it. I've always got it pinned up in my playlist.
No, well, there's I'm sure more to talk about if we were to listen to the whole album, but that is not the point of this podcast. Our podcast is just these 2 Wikipedia articles, and Mike, I don't know about you, but I think the Mini Horses ran away with it.
Yeah, Tension Filter, 42 minutes, 53 seconds runtime. That's hardly a good long trot on the back of your guide horse through the airport. You got a good friend who can take you to water for 25 to 35 years. It's time. It's a conversation starter. Can you imagine? You walk into a room that, you hope is the one that you're supposed to be in, and everybody wants to come and talk to you.
It is definitely one of the coolest things. So for that reason, guide horses, you're our winner.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Let's get into round 2.
It's time for round 2.
Time for round 2.
In round 2, we have 1984, not the year, not the book, but the film from 1956, against August F. Fechteler.
We've got a movie in black and white going up against a man from the black and white photo era. Let's see, a rear admiral going up against a real awesome, I'm assuming, film. 1984, the Orwell classic. I think a lot of us are familiar with that, depicting a totalitarian future of a dystopian society. Are we there already yet?
I don't know. We might be there. We might not be there. I guess I think the whole point of 1984 is like you knew, but then you liked it. It was, I don't know, mind control and stuff. I've read, some of the book and then listened to the entirety of the audiobook. Have not seen this movie. So the book came out in 1949. The movie came out 7 years later. And it's a British black and white science fiction film. Directed by Michael Anderson, Edmund O'Brien is the protagonist, Winston Smith, and featured Donald Pleasance, Jan Sterling, and Michael Redgrave. And I don't know any of those people.
I think that the plot of 1984 is pretty well known. We don't need to delve into it. There's a man who is living in this society. Big Brother's always watching. He begins to get wise to it a little bit, due to what his job is. He's thinking a lot. He meets a woman. They fall in love, and that's troublesome. They get taken into custody and, tried to be converted back into following, I don't know how you say it, the line, how they want them to be.
We don't want to ruin it for you. If you haven't read
Don't wanna ruin
1984, you should. And maybe even see the movie. Who knows?
Well, let's maybe talk about the development. In 1954, Peter Cushing and Andre Morel starred in a BBC television adaptation, which was extremely popular with the British audiences, leading to the production of the film. Donald Pleasance had also appeared in BBC television version, playing the character of Syme, which for the film was amalgamated with that of Parsons. So they took some liberties with this. Yeah, but you got to do that when you're making, that's art.
Well, let's talk about art for a minute. Just when you think that the U.S. government doesn't care about art, guess who's funded this movie? The CIA. This film received a $100,000 subsidy from the U.S. Information Agency, just like the Animal Farm adaptation. And this book also had an altered ending, just like the Animal Farm adaptation. So here's the CIA going, you know how we're going to fight the communists? We're going to make movies.
Absolutely classic. And you know what? Good on him. I bet it was good. You know, if anybody can make up a piece of fiction, I'm sure
The
it was the
CIA
BBC.
is all over it. Okay, let's talk about somebody who definitely was real. August F. Fechteler was a rear admiral in the U.S. Navy during World War I. He had two sons who also served in the Navy and was, I guess his two sons, Admiral William Fechteler was chief of naval operations, and Lieutenant Frank Casper Fechteler was an early naval aviator that died in an airplane crash in 1922.
Now, Fechteler was born in Prussia, now Germany, in 1857, and his family emigrated to the United States in 1865. That would have put him at what? My calculations are correct. 8 years of age. He was appointed cadet midshipman to the U.S. Naval Academy by the Honorable Thomas J. Creamer from the 7th District of New York in June of 1873, and he completed the course in 1877.
Yeah, dude had a life of military service. He had awards such as the Navy Cross, the Spanish Campaign Medal, the Philippine Campaign Medal, and a World War I Victory Medal. Look at that. Dude fought in lots of wars.
I guess he's the guy that won that thing.
Yeah, it's probably just him. The entirety of World War I ended because of this man and his Navy.
Spanish-American War, Philippine-American War, and World War I.
You ever forget
was
about how
getting
many wars we were in?
We were just fighting off everybody, it seems.
We were, yeah. But yeah, this
Well,
dude had a honorable Navy career.
let's see if we got any other good gems floating to the top. I tell you what, nice mustache.
Oh, that's right. There's a picture. You guys are listening to an audio version of this podcast. You can't see the Wikipedia page, but if you Google Augustus F. Fechteler, Wikipedia will probably be the top result. And there he is. He's got a mustache. He's wearing a hat. He's got some glasses. Man's got a lot of stars. He commanded the Dubuque, the South Carolina, the 2nd Division of the Atlantic Fleet, the 7th Division of the Atlantic Fleet, the 6th Division of the Atlantic Fleet. I don't know why those aren't in different order, but there it is. Yeah.
And he had a really sharp looking hat.
Yeah,
But
dude's got a great hat. But is he better than a movie?
I don't think the CIA would have given him $100,000.
Probably not. Especially during the next war with that mustache. It's a little close.
It's going to limit the roles he can play.
It really
He's going to
is.
have to be willing to do something else. But, you know, I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the style. And I appreciate his presence here in this round, which he did not win because we're giving the victory to 1984.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
There you go. A book that was a movie that is now a movie that was once a book. 1984. You're the winner.
And when they try and burn you once again, we'll just have to move on, just like we're doing now, to round 3.
It's time for round 3.
I gotta say, I hope you guys have as much fun listening as we have recording, but these are a hoot. Okay, our next competitor, K36NED, and the Magorzata Omilanowska. Okay, Mike, look at our competitor, Magorzata, here. Have you ever seen an L with a slash in it like that? It's
I thought
not
there
your
was something
computer.
on my
No, it's
screen.
not. It's the letter.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but we could just call her Big O.
I should say that I apologize to any competitor whose name I mispronounce, so I will try Magorzata. I really will. But we're going to talk about your competitor.
Omilanowska.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. That's
right.
probably close. But let's talk about K36NED first. This, of course, Virtual Channel 43, UHF Digital Channel 36 is a low-powered Class A, 3AB, and affiliated television station licensed to the one, the only, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Station is owned by HC2 Holdings. Let's go back to the origins. On February 22nd, 1995, the FCC granted a construction permit to Craig Allen Jew to build a low-power television station on Channel 15 to service the Las Vegas metropolitan area. The station, given the call sign K15EP, the Fightin' K15EPs, was not able to go on air due to new full-service station KINC, the Fightin' Kink.
Yeah, Jew sold the newly extended construction permit, to the Three Angels Broadcasting Network and moved the station to Channel 43, licensed the station, identified as K43FO, on February 12th of 1999, and converted the license to Class A April 25th, 2001. The station has changed its call sign to K43FOD, reflecting its move to digital broadcasting, and they sold it again, and along with other stations, for $9.6 million in 2017.
That is an awful lot of money for a channel that really never had anything on it.
Yeah, but that's okay, because you know what they have now? They have main programming, infomercials, Law and Crime Trial Network, Shop LC, and everyone's favorite programming, Blank.
Wow.
Yeah, Blank. It says Blank
That's
right
worth
there.
$9 million.
Yeah, as long as you got it on TV. Well, anyway, you know who's probably on TV? Magorzata. I bet she's on TV.
I bet so.
She's a Polish art historian and politician who served as Poland's Minister of Culture and National Heritage from July 2014 to November 2015. That's not very long.
Omilanowska completed her undergraduate and postgraduate studies at the University of Warsaw, the coolest kind of saw, before moving to a different school in Berlin, where she concluded her doctorate in architecture in 1994. She taught at the Institute of Art with the Polish Academy of Sciences till 2007. She was a deputy director of the Institute from 1999, and then from 2006, she's been a professor at the University of Gdańsk's Department of Art History.
That was a great pronunciation. She was named the Deputy Culture Minister in 2012 and was promoted to Minister of Culture and National Heritage again in 2014 after her predecessor, Bogdan Jadrowski, stood down following his election to European Parliament. Well, there you go. She's 64. She's an independent as a political party. We've mentioned her college degree program, her learnings already. So now I got to figure out who is better, this TV station I've never heard of, or this Polish Minister of Culture and National Heritage that I've also never heard of.
Well, we've heard of her now, and what you've not really heard of here so much in America is having our politicians be art historians. I like that. I like that in a leader. Someone who knows what a good and a bad painting looks like.
You think
know?
she knows about Picasso's writing career?
If she listens to this show, she sure does. And I mean, heck, she looks sharp. She looks like she knows what she's doing. I'm sure she's got something to say that I need to hear. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this picture. And looking at the programming of our channel here, it doesn't seem to have much that I need to see.
Well, there you go. That does it for me. Magorzata Omilanowska, you are our winner.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
I am so sorry about your pronunciation, by the way, if you listen. Dear madam, it's my fault.
We got it around by the end, you know. And speaking about coming around, we're coming around to round number 4.
It's coming.
Round 1, 2, 3, round 4.
I totally forgot about the werewolf
You picked
round.
the wrong one.
I totally forgot. We have 2 round 4
terrifying.
sounds. There's this one,
My round 4 is ready.
which is way less scary than whatever the Evil Dead monster werewolf villain thing we just had. Okay. Anyway, I gotta remember which button's which. Round 4, we have Jorge de Barros against Abdellatif Baka.
Oh, wow. We've got 2 stars of the track here in completely different capacities. Jorge Machado de Barros is a Brazilian sprinter facing off against Abdellatif Baka, who's a visually impaired Algerian middle distance runner.
I don't
A
even
very
understand.
specific niche.
We pick these entirely by random. There's a link that generates the random Wikipedia pages that we do, and we've ended up with 2 track athletes in the same round, one of them being visually impaired after we started the show talking about guide horses. I don't understand the connections, Mike. I see them, but I don't know how.
The universe is nothing but an infinite web of connections, Rob, and here we find ourselves connected to these two endearing athletes. Let's jump in and check out their statistics.
Now, Jorge competed in the 100 meters at the 56 Summer Olympics. He is currently a physical education teacher. He won medals in the 56, 58, and 61 South American championships in athletics, including gold medals in the 4x1 at the former 2 championships. He also is a multiple-time Campeonato Caracas champion in athletics, presenting Fluminense FC, which I am assuming is a football club.
Panning over it, well, it's a sports club. They probably do a whole bunch of awesome athletic things, darting hither and yon. This guy, he's 89 years old. He's still kicking around, probably at great speeds. I think he has an awesome name. Oh, in fact, in this Portuguese name, the first or maternal family name is Machado, and the second or paternal family name is de Barros. Just a little note there on top of the article. But hey, very successful. 1956 Summer Olympics. I bet it was a great time. Why don't we slow it down and hit the long run with our good friend, Abdellatif Baka?
Well, we're not going to slow it down all that much. So the visually impaired Algerian middle distance runner is very fast. Competing in the T13 classification, he represented his country in the 2012 Summer Paralympics in London, where he won the gold medal in the 800 and the 2016 Paralympics in Rio, winning the 1500. He won the 15 with a time of 3 minutes 48.29 seconds, a faster time than that of the Summer Olympics winner. So, dude's real fast. The latest time in the final race was beaten not only by all 3 medalists in the Paralympics race, but also by Fechteler Baka, who's the brother of Abdellatif, and came fourth in that final race. So here we have the Paralympic athletes running faster than the, I don't even want to call them the regular Olympic athletes, the other Olympic athletes who we wouldn't put in the Paralympics. So this dude is legitimately very fast.
He is a multiple world championship winner. He took 4 medals over 2 tournaments. If you go down through his list of awards here, you're seeing a lot of gold shining back at you. So a couple silver, couple bronze, but those are nothing to scoff at either. Very impressive. He's 30 years old. He still has a lot of miles ahead of him. 1,500 meters, that's just about one of them.
Yeah. Dude is very talented, very fast, and is representing his country well. And hopefully, it sounds like at the age of 30, he's going to be retired from mid-distance running. But some distance runners really hit their stride. So maybe he will continue to compete. It actually looks like he has. Looks like he won bronzes in Paris and Kobe. So dude's still running.
Boy, howdy. We are faced with quite a dilemma in choosing between these two really incredible competitors here.
I do think we probably need to go to a tiebreaker.
I think that's a great idea. Rob, hit that tiebreaker funk.
Time for a tiebreaker.
Here on the show, we like to settle ties the only way we know how, picking a random number between 1 and 10,000. I'll pick a number, Mike will pick a number, and then I will pick a number randomly using the power of Google. Google will then pick the number, and whoever's closest without going over is, well, we can go over. Can't we go over? Don't go
Yeah,
over?
you just got to be closest.
You just got to be closest. This isn't The Price is Right.
Thank you, almighty Google. I hope that you will give me a victory for choosing the amount of meters that our friend Mr. Baka had to run, and that was 1,500.
Okay, you're going to go 1,500. I am going to go, let's see, I want to pick something from Jorge's life here. Let's go to the date of his birth, 1935. You went 1,500, I'm going 1935, and we're going to pick a random number.
Pretty close together there.
I know. We're going to do it, right? We're going to go between 1 and 10,000.
You're going to feel silly when I win.
I'm going to feel real silly, but that's okay because the number is going to be 8,362.
All right.
I am the victor.
I'm pretty sure that is the first time that you have won one of those. I think I was undefeated up until then.
Yeah, people have
But-
to listen to all the episodes to find out.
That's right. Listen back to all the episodes, like, subscribe, and let us know if Rob ever won one of those in the comments. And if he didn't win, let us know that too, just so we have a record of it. All good things must end, as must this initial round of this episode, as we move into the final elimination round of the first preliminary elimination, round 5.
Round 5.
The new format. In this final round, I think what he said, we have the list of Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coaches against Julius Maggi.
We've got football coaches from 1976 to the present day going up against a guy who invented soup.
Is that, well, we'll get to that. Hopefully that's true. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a professional American football team based in Tampa Bay, Florida. They're members of the Southern Division of the National Football Conference in the NFC, and they were founded in 1976 by Hugh Culverhouse. They lost their first 26 games and had one playoff win in their first 21 seasons before winning the Super Bowl in 2002.
They've had 12 head coaches, the franchise. The team has played 628 games in 40 seasons since joining the NFL. 5 of the Buccaneers coaches, John McKay, Tony Dungy, John Gruden, Bruce Arians, and Todd Bowles, have taken them to the playoffs.
Yeah, but only
Gruden-
Gruden, Arians, only them.
That's right.
They've made it to the sweet, sweet Super Bowl, and they won. So I guess every Super Bowl appearance they've had, they've won.
That's pretty impressive. If you're only going to get there once every so often, you might as well make the best of it. Starting back at the beginning, had John McKay. He was there for 9 years. As I scroll down, that appears to be the longest tenure of any coach that they've had thus far. He ended up with 2 NFC Central championships in 79 and 81, and he made it to the playoffs 3 times, but close, but no cigar for him.
Yeah, close but no cigar, and a record of 44 and 88 with one tie. I guess we used to tie in football. I wonder what that's like.
You could still tie in football.
Can you tie? You can tie, can't you?
You can.
I'm
You just
confusing it
gotta-
with the better sport.
You just gotta
hockey.
loop. You gotta loop the rabbit
Oh,
ears,
okay,
and then swoop
yeah,
them,
no,
and you pull.
Yep. Loop, swoop, and pull. Yep. Rabbit ears. That's the tie I meant. Now, what about this Julius Maggi guy? Swiss entrepreneur, inventor. You weren't even kidding. Inventor of pre-cooked soups and Maggi sauce. Best known for founding Maggi, which was merged with Nestle in 1947.
He was born in Frauenfeld, Switzerland in 1846, and then in 1869, so he's 23. That was at least 60 for that era. He inherited his father's hammer mill, where they grew hammers.
Can you imagine the talks between him and his dad? Dad, I don't want to do the hammer business. I just want to make soup, Dad. I just want to make soup.
And he's sitting there just dipping it in his bowl, just trying to put a nail into his bisque.
No soup for you. Make hammer. So in the early 1880s, he began experimenting with a new type of flour, as you know, I guess the Swiss do. And in 1882, he finally began selling the flour and founded Maggi. In 1886, he launched Maggi seasoning and invented the first instant soup in the world. And he began selling this to countries all around Europe, including Germany, France, and Italy. So I guess we can thank him for instant soup.
Well, not just instant soup, portable soup. You know, we're not talking about something that you just add water to. You know, these were pre-cooked soups. You know, it's your chunky. We wouldn't have those commercials with those football players and their moms, likely, if it wasn't for Mr. Maggi over here.
I don't think I've ever heard soup be referred to as portable soup before, and I can't think of a less portable meal, honestly, on the go. Like, oh, I'm on the go. Better bring soup.
Oh, it's great. You can throw it in a thermos and just, you know, live your best life. Perhaps while you're standing on the sidelines directing the X's and O's of a professional football game.
Now, who's the winner? The head coaches of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of which really 2 are winners, or Soup Guy? I don't know about you, Mike. Okay, on the count of 3, let's say our winner out loud. Are you ready? 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Soup Guy.
Not the coaches.
I forgot about the internet delay. Anyway, hey.
The soup guy for sure. Soup. I love soup. Soup. Let's go, Julius.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
For those of you who don't know, Mike and I record at a distance, sometimes many time zones. Today, about 30 minutes. But the internet is just what the internet is. Okay, that is 5 rounds. We have picked our top 5, but now we need to compete those 5 against each other, probably in a faster little bit of lightning round, right? But we need to pick
bracket style.
Bracket style still, but we need to figure out who is going to get the first round bye here. Is it going to be the Guide Horse, or 1984 the film, or Magorzata Omilanowska? I'm not getting any better with that name.
Big O.
Jorge de Barros, or Julius Maggi, Soup Guy?
I want to give soup guy the bye.
You want to give Soup Guy the bye?
He invented soup.
I was gonna go Guide Horse just because Guide Horse, right? How awesome is that?
You know, I think they get a home game, but
Okay.
he invented soup. Rob.
He didn't invent soup. He invented portable soup.
You can take it where, you know what? If you're somewhere and you don't have any food, and then you look, oh my gosh, I got soup. Life saved.
Okay.
Live another day.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, Julius.
Thank you. Yeah, every time you have soup now, I want you to say thank you, Julius, when you sit down and eat your soup.
Try and stop me, Rob. Try and stop me.
I won't. Okay. Julius, you have a bye. And so let's compare Guide Horse against 1984 in our first semifinal round. Quarterfinal? Quarterfinal?
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Okay. Guide Horse against 1984. I think top of the dome. I got to go Guide Horse. Mike, do you have arguments against?
I love the poster here for the 1984 film. On top of it, real big, it says, "Will ecstasy be a crime?" I'm pretty sure it's illegal. So we've answered that question. What we haven't answered is, how did these horses get so miniature? And you know, I don't think we're going to find out that answer unless we give it another opportunity to move forward. I vote for the Guide Horse.
I think that's enough for me.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Okay, Guide Horse, you have moved on. Now, our next 2 competitors, Magorzata Omilanowska. It's not getting any better.
You want to give it one more go. Give it one more go.
Nope, against Jorge de Barros. So we have the Polish culture of finance minister against the sprinter. And that's a tough one. You know, but this guy, he is teaching now. He's very active in his community. He is very, very fast, or at least used to be. And it sounds like she's got nothing else in her Wikipedia since she stopped being in government. So she's probably still an art history person.
Mm-hmm. She's probably doing very well for herself, as it does seem that Jorge de Barros is as well. But, you know, I think if we were to pit them against one another physically, 89 years, well, okay, I mean, think about it. 89 years old versus 64.
We don't have to make them
Omilanowska.
We don't have to make them actually fight.
Hypothetically, though, if they were fighting, like, 89 is admittedly getting up there.
Who's got the soup?
Julius.
Yeah.
So I mean, I want to move forward acknowledging the fact that there's a distinct possibility that Magorzata might be able to take them.
Okay. I think that's enough for me. I think we can let her win this one. What do you think?
Okay. Let's do this.
Perfect. Okay. So now we have 1984, the film, right? Against Magorzata, against Julius Maggi. We, I think, have messed up this math.
No, we have not. Now we have
not?
No, it's infinite.
It's a three-way death match between Instant Soup, Polish Fine Arts, and a film funded by the CIA.
This is exactly why we did this.
So, I bet the CIA when they heard there was instant soup, they're like, fund that. We need that. We need more instant soup.
Yeah, it's gonna really piss off the communists.
Soup for everybody.
Oh boy. Okay, let's just go through one by one and remind us of their elements. We've got Julius Maggi, invented soup, pretty sweet.
Portable soup.
Potable soup.
Portable.
Oh, that's even better. Jorge de Barros, super fast, still around, a teacher, and guide horse. Tiny little horses that you can take into the airport, and they're cool with it.
Wait, did you just compare him to Against the Losers? That's what you just did, right?
No.
Yes, because it's 19.
Oh, okay. We got the soup guy. We got the movie, which also was funded by the CIA, and that's really cool. And we got the guide horse.
No, we have the Polish finance minister. We have the movie. 1984, the movie.
Oh, right. I have a lot of tabs open here, Rob. We haven't done this for a minute. I have so many tabs.
We have the Polish cultural minister, and we have soup guy. Those are our three. That's remaining.
Are you confused yet? That's infinity for you, folks.
Anyway, the soup guy wins.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Mike,
wow.
we could talk about it forever, but we all know it's got to be soup.
I mean, I really thought the guide horse had him, but
the guide horse got eliminated right away. Didn't it?
No, I think guide horse was. We had a three-way go of it, but you know what? The soup was gonna win.
It's our rules. If you don't like it, make your own show.
Yeah, and if you want the guide horse to be brought back for another episode, like, comment, subscribe.
every comment that says guide horse is just
just write guide horse. In
that's
the
your whole
comments.
review. Guide horse.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. You look him up, and you will want more of guide horse, and we're happy to give it to you. But you gotta let us know on the next episode of
The ultimate tournament of everything.